Well, hello. Oh no, can't do it with this. Do you know, I absolutely hate these things. I really, really do. I'm sure some of you love them, and I know we have to wear them, and I do when I'm meant to, but I hate them, and I cannot wait till the time is over when we don't need them anymore. And do you know something I've learned from reading the Bible? God hates masks as well. Now, I'm not talking about this kind of mask, but I'm talking about the masks that we very often wear as people, both outside the church and inside the church. And we're hypocrites because the mask we are wearing, the public face that people see, isn't truth and isn't reality. We're putting on a show. It's pretense. At worst, it's hypocrisy. And God hates hypocrisy, and he loves honesty, transparency. He hates cover up. He hates anything to do with the darkness, hiding in the darkness, because he loves light. He is light, and he calls us to live in the light. And one of the things I absolutely love about the Psalms, I've told you something I hate wearing masks. One thing I love about the Psalms is the sheer, disarming, breathtaking honesty of those who wrote the Psalms. And the Psalm we're looking at today is a classic of this utter honesty, Psalm 102. It's a psalm that's all about constants and variables, things that change and things that don't change, things that last. It's about heartache and utter honesty. There is so much in this psalm, Psalm 102. Please do read it all. And there's quite a contrast really between the first half of it and the second half. In many Bibles, it will tell you that this psalm is a psalm of an afflicted person, somebody who's really going through the wars, who has grown physically weak, and he just pours out his lament before the Lord. He just pours out his heart before the Lord with complete and utter honesty. He is overwhelmed. He complains before the Lord. He borrows some phrases, and indeed some of the tone of what he says is typical of Job. It's phrasing from Job, and as you know, Job is one of the greatest examples of suffering and affliction in the whole of the Bible, and there are echoes in this psalm from the book of Job. Look at how the psalm begins, verse 1. Hear my prayer, Lord. Let my cry for help come to you. Do not hide your face. Turn your ear to me, Lord. When I call, answer me quickly, for my days vanish like smoke. My bones burn like glowing embers. Can you just feel the pain of the person who's writing these words? The affliction and the suffering are bad enough. But do you know what's even worse? And I have found this, I have to be honest, in my own life, when I've been going through some very tough, heartbreaking times. What is even worse than the pain and the suffering, in fact, worse beyond measure, is that God seems to be hiding from us. We cannot see God's face. We're not sure if he's there. We're not sure if he really does care. We're not sure if he's listening to us. We knew God's favor in the past. We sensed God's face shining on us, but now we're in the depths of utter despair, distress, and worst of all, it seems as if God has deserted us. And so the psalmist just pours out all this complaints, his moaning before the Lord with utter dishonesty, with utter honesty, nothing of dishonesty. He says, my days are consumed like smoke. Verse 3, my bones burn like glowing embers. He's saying, there's a pain deep inside my body, and it feels as if my very bones are burning. My heart is aching. He says, I've lost my appetite. Verse 4, my heart is blighted and withered like grass. I forget to eat my food. He's not eating properly. He's not sleeping properly. Look at verse 7. I lie awake. I have become like a bird alone on a roof. So not eating properly, not sleeping properly, not relating happily to other people. Verse 8, all day long my enemies taunt me. Those who rail against me use my name as a curse. I think he gives some very vivid pictures here of the loneliness that he feels and the isolation he feels. He says, I'm like a desert owl, like an owl among the ruins. In Arab thinking and Arab thought, the owl is the bird of the ruins, lonely, surrounded by destruction. And that's how the psalmist sees himself. And he lies awake at night, like a bird alone on a roof. He really is in the depths of despair. In verse 9, he says, I eat ashes as my food and mingle my drink with tears because of your great wrath, Lord. You have taken me up and you have thrown me aside. It's as if he just feels God has just tossed him aside, got rid of him. What incredible honesty. Some people wouldn't believe stuff like this is in the Bible. But then the light begins to just a little glimmer of light appear through the clouds. And in verse 11 and 12, he writes this, my days are like the evening shadow. I wither away like grass. But here's the little shaft of light that's beginning to break through the clouds. Verse 12, but you, Lord, sit enthroned forever. To quote that hymn that I've referred to before, he sees that God is still on the throne, sovereign over us. Your renown endures through all generations, verse 12. And then he moves from an outpouring of personal devastation to an exciting vision of national restoration. In a way, the psalmist in this psalm isn't just speaking personally, although it is intensely personal. He's actually speaking for the nation as well, the people of God. And in the second half of this psalm, he sees a new day dawning. He sees restoration instead of devastation. A God who will act. Verse 13, you will arise and have compassion on Zion, for it is time to show favor to her. The appointed time has come. And then he lists a whole lot of things that God will do that are so exciting. Verse 16, the Lord will rebuild Zion. Verse 17, he will respond to the prayer of the destitute. He will not despise their plea. Verse 19, he will look down on us. He's not going to turn away from us. The Lord looked down from his sanctuary on high. He will hear us, verse 20, to hear the groans of the prisoners. And he's a God who's going to bring release and freedom and release those condemned to death. Verse 20, what a change of mood and atmosphere, and what an exciting vision he has caught from God. And then he begins to emphasize some of the constants and the variables, the things that are temporary and the things that are permanent, the things that are going to fade and the things that will last. And he wants to focus on what's eternal and what's going to last and what is worth living for. Yes, there are things, he says, verse 26, will wear out like a garment. But you, God, remain the same, and your years will never end. We used to sing a song, I want to serve the purpose of God in my generation. I want to serve the purpose of God while I'm still alive. I want to give my life for something that will last forever. Oh, I delight to do your will. Friends, are you and I living at this time for what's going to last forever? Are we so caught up in our personal devastation that we've lost God's vision of restoration and that he's still on the throne? Friends, he really does care for us, even at the times when we feel he isn't there. And I pray that as we look at this psalm and meditate on it, you and I will catch a fresh vision of a God who's sovereign, a God who reigns, a God who really cares, that we'll take off our masks and stop our pious dishonesty, that we'll pour out our hearts before the Lord and we'll cry out from the depths of our heart, Lord, I want to live for you and for the things that are going to last forever. If you want to, just listen to the words of that wonderful song and let's make it our prayer. God bless you massively.
I want to serve the purpose of God in my generation. I want to serve the purpose of God while I am alive. I want to give my life for something that'll last forever. Oh, I delight to do your will. What is on your heart? Show me what to do. Let me know your will and I will follow you. What is on your heart? Show me what to do. Let me know your will and I will follow you. I want to build with silver and gold in my generation. I want to build with silver and gold while I am alive. I want to give my life for something that'll last forever. Oh, I delight to do your will. What is on your heart? Show me what to do. Let me know your will and I will follow you. What is on your heart? Show me what to do. Let me know your will and I will follow you. I want to see the kingdom of God in my generation. I want to see the kingdom of God while I am alive. I want to give my life for something that'll last forever. Oh, I delight to do your will. What is on your heart? Show me what to do. Let me know your will and I will follow you. What is on your heart? Show me what to do. Let me know your will and I will follow you. I want to see the Lord come again in my generation. I want to see the Lord come again while I